Hi, I'm Leslie Lowe. Welcome to Leslie's Lowdown on Life. Today we're with Rick Welliver. He is like the king of boxing here in Spokane. We're going to talk about that first. We've got to get kind of our hookup. So come on, let's do that. You're so cool, actually, that you have a drink named after you.
Yeah. They named a drink after me here at my local coffee shop. Collaborate with these guys quite a bit about flavors and events and people. And this is my office, so I have most of my meetings here. And so they're like, we want to call a drink to Rick. What do you want in it? And I told them, this is my drink. I like a little bit of caramel, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of honey, a little bit of cinnamon.
That's kind of you right there. A little bit of caramel, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of spice. And
Yeah, slightly dinner though, slightly dinner.
I think people think that you're a little rough around the edges, right? But here's what I know about you. You are first of all, you're a girl dad.
Oh yeah.
Second of all, you're a softie. You have such a soft place in your heart for people in general.
Yeah, I had parents that raised me compassionately, and I was around pretty good people growing up that service to others is the rent that we pay to occupy space around there. So if you're not giving to your fellow man, why are you here?
It's true. I mean, it's otherwise you get one chance, you get one shot at life, right?
Yeah.
Right. Hi.
No, I've had really good mentors, really good coaches. My father was probably the most important thing in my life, and he had a way of making everybody feel included and welcoming. And I guess it's rubbed off.
Yeah, I was gonna say boxing is in your blood. It runs deep for you, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the life boxing's it's a game changer. People want to tell you that athletics builds character. Well, that's true, but boxing is a rare sport that not only builds character, but it reveals character.
Oh, that's true.
And yeah, it's the one sport that you don't play. You can play basketball, you can play football, you can play baseball. You don't play boxing. That's legit. And it tells you the truth pretty quickly.
I'd never thought about it that way before, but I mean, you're pretty much revealed in that moment.
Yeah, and that's okay. To not get if you realize the truth about yourself, you can go on living a more authentic life quicker than you normally would. A lot of people are living in charades. A lot of fake tough guys out there.
A lot of fake tough guys out there, that's for sure. You're definitely not one of those. You have a huge impact in this community in so many different ways, which is why after we order a couple of the Ricks here, I want to get into it. I want to talk about who you are. I want to know who Rick Welliver is, because you have a deep-seated history here. I feel like we have a lot of ground to cover, and there are so many lives that you have impacted in this community.
Oh, thanks.
I really want to get into some of those stories for you and the why behind everything you do.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've got our Ricks. Time for us to learn a little bit more about you, my friend.
I'll do that.
I think we've got lots to dive into, that's for sure.
I'm an open book today.
Oh, you might be sorry you said that, actually.
If you're asking me if I like to talk, I like to talk.
I do know this about you. I think I've known you long enough to know that you like to talk. Yeah. So you kind of own these streets, and I say that because I can drive by at any point during the day, and I can see Rick walking down the streets. You're talking to people, you're always saying hi to people, but you're always out here. And so I say you own these streets, but you also care so much about these streets.
Yeah.
And the inner city kids in particular. So tell me your story, because you have such a fascinating story as far as you were a boxer, boxing is in your family, you've got this deep love for and passion, but now you're taking that deep love and passion and you're turning it in to making a difference. Like you said a minute ago, if you're not here to make a difference, then why are you here?
Boxing was the thing that saved my life, and it was the thing that attached me to my father. Mostly, like he was a guy that he took me to the gym as a kid, and when your dad is your hero, which my dad was and is, and you get to be in an environment where it's very inclusive and very, what's the word, ballistic, and you get to be around all these people and the sounds and the shapes and the noises, and it shaped me.
It kind of becomes part of like who your inner core is, right?
Yeah.
What did boxing do for you? What did it do like for you?
Boxing taught me that I could depend on myself more than anything. And that's what boxing teaches anybody, is you can depend on yourself. And you okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'm really okay.
Okay.
How you doing?
Doing all right. Be careful, brother. If you need to shower, come in. Okay. Come on. So,
And that's what you do. You take care of people.
he's a good guy. He's stuck in a rut.
And that happens. And that's
Boxing is the only sport that you don't play.
Yeah, and you were telling me about that. So talk a little bit more about that, because the way I see it, when I hear that from you, it's like when you're out there, you're exposed. It's you.
Yeah. It's a singular sport that it's kind of a truth-telling sport. Am I in good enough shape? You're going to find out the truth pretty quick. Do I have the courage to not only prepare for this, but to put it into action? You're going to find out the truth pretty quick. Am I good enough? You're going to find out the truth pretty quick. Am I not good enough? You're going to find that out. And the one thing that boxing, this notion that athletics builds character is true. Boxing is one of the rare sports that reveals character.
Yeah. It does, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah. And you realize pretty quickly, if I can do this, I can do anything in the world. These doors that we're going to walk into, doctors have been, I've had kids that were students to be students. I've had medical students here that are now doctors. We've had law students that are now lawyers. We have people that have gone to school to be teachers. If you can do this, you can do anything in the world, period.
And even if you start out in a place where you feel like you can't do it, or you need help, you can still get there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
this is it.
right here. This is where lives are changed.
Thanks for having us in here today. This is a true blue boxing gym.
A couple of people that are
Hi guys, how are you? Good. Nice to see you.
next generation. That's a Welliver.
Nice to meet you.
Getting ready for his first fight.
Getting ready for your first fight? Awesome.
Yeah. So give you a little bit about the
tell
gym.
me about this.
This is kind of the nostalgia wall. Some of the great fighters from Spokane: Tiger Jack Fox, Joey Dolan, Dewey Welliver. This is when Dewey was a sparring partner for Oscar De La Hoya.
Nice.
Back when he was the amateur world champion.
And Dewey Welliver is
My brother.
your brother.
Sure. So we we have a lot of different artwork, a lot of things. That's our schedule, fight schedule coming up. All the artwork that we got hanging are from students of this gym that, if they can't afford to train here and they want to contribute something. This is a kid that had spent some time in a mental institution that was going through a mania phase and said, I want to make you some artwork. I'm like, all right. So that was his contribution to the gym. My favorite fighter, Roberto Duran, and then of course Muhammad Ali. And if you look at this of Ali, this is from an actual photograph, you kind of see where he blended in the float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. There's the butterfly, there's the bee.
I saw that.
So that was sort of what was coming out with his mania at the moment.
Okay, so funny, because this made me emotional. And I didn't expect that, because that speaks to, you're taking these people who other people will dismiss, and you're saying there's a place for you.
Yeah.
There's a place for you. And you gave them an outlet, not just boxing, but another outlet. And the artwork is beautiful.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that.
Well, let me show you this. There's
more.
This is a really cool story. So of course we'll do a 360 here. This is a steel cutout of Karl Maxey, Eastern Washington's first Black African American, but also was a national champion for Gonzaga, who could have been a great pro fighter that went on to fight a different fight. He fought for everybody. So I want kids to know who this guy is.
You know, and I don't think I knew that. I don't think that I knew that he was a boxer.
Oh yeah, national champion. He was on the only national championship Gonzaga's ever won. They won in boxing, and he was on that team. So see you later, bud. Thanks. He was on that team that won a national championship. Here's a guy that could have turned pro and made money as a pro fighter, and he said, no, I'm going to fight a different fight.
And he fought for the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so people should know who that is. And so we're going to honor him in this gym. And then over here, this was some graffiti art that we had done. And this is the Silver Valley Wallace. I used to be the head coach of boxing in Wallace for a brief time. And we put events on in Wallace and the Silver Valley and Kellogg. Firpo Bardelli was their Hall of Fame boxer. And this piece of artwork was made with no brushes. It was all graffiti work. It was all sponges and spray cans. There was no brushes. Everything's with a sponge.
Wow.
And textured in. So Firpo the Bull of Burke, he was pretty instrumental in boxing in the Northwest. And then one of the things that I've always talked about is how boxing gyms are inclusive. I got asked if I would hang those. Of course, and we have a population of people that this matters, and I understand it. And then this is the vanity wall where some of my...
Yeah, let's talk about the vanity wall.
Wow.
And honestly, that's where we're gonna really hone in on this. Let's talk about the vanity wall and where it all started, my friend.
It started with my dad. He, like I said, took me to the gym, and I thought I was gonna be a pro fighter and do it only once. And I ended up doing it 17 times and got a chance to be on ESPN and Fox, and get to see the Northwest, get to see the country. I fought in Mexico, and that was kind of cool. And
you're kind of cool, kind of badass.
Well,
yeah.
It's a unique story, but yeah, I didn't go to Mazatlan thinking I was going to actually box. I went down there, and then I met a guy in a bar that said, I'm a fighter. He was tacking up posters. And he goes, you're a fighter? I said, I'm a fighter. He goes, what's your name? And he comes back and he goes, do you want to fight tomorrow for 800 pesos? I said, yeah. So I fought in a bull rink right across the street from the Pacifico Bottling Brewing Company. And I fought in an exhibition down there against that state, Jalisco's best fighter, spur of the moment, made 800. That was Rick the American.
And did you win?
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did, which is why you went on to do it 16 more times.
It was an exhibition, and I ended up dropping the guy twice. But he's a tough guy, nice guy.
So where are you in here? Let's see.
This was right here.
Okay.
So
there's little Rick.
Yeah, and this was the second professional fight that I was ever a part of. And at this point, I thought I was going to walk away from the sport completely and be either a journalist or be a a school teacher. I was going to school to do bowl, and I'd won my second pro fight. But the way I won this fight, I think it was the Cage. Either you guys, who has the sports highlight of the week? KHQ or Cram or... I ended up getting
one of those stations.
Yeah. Back in 1996, the knockout of the guy that I fought here was so dramatic, it got the sports highlight of the week on whatever station was covering it, maybe you guys. And it, you can start it, smoke it, jab a vein for it. There's nothing like the high of combat. And I was hooked at that moment. I'm like, I'm going to keep doing this for a while. I mean, it was addicting. That roar of the crowd and that whole thing. So I ended up, instead of retiring, I ended up fighting more and just kept going with it. So that was the thing. All of these that I've collected here in the last year from people that can't afford to pay if they stay sober, if they're in a recovery program, whether it's drugs, alcohol, gambling, whatever their addiction is, if they can't afford to pay, they have to go to meetings and bring me these. So he brought that in, but then he goes, I'm an artist, I want to do something for you. But he was so inspired by the movie Cinderella Man, about James Braddock being homeless and down on his luck to winning the heavyweight championship. He made this for me.
That gives me goosebumps.
This is James Braddock rising above the food line. And he just said, here, I want you to have this. So I had it framed, of course, and this was his contribution to the gym and his way of showing off his art. But I just love the fact that after giving him a place to be a part of, included in our gym, he thought, I want to give this to you, coach. So I got it framed, and here it is.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and this is a good kid, but he's got his demons. He's in and out of mental health, and he's in and out of...
And that happens,
yeah.
right? That happens.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you've got this whole box, again, of coins.
Yeah, that's hope right there. That's hope. That's...
Each one.
Whatever gets you through the day, just for today.
Each one represents
somebody
who's giving it their all.
Look at this.
To get, I know, I'm like, it's amazing to me.
We got some 20-year coins in there somewhere,
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at them and you just know that they're here and they're saying, here, I'm in, I'm all in.
I think that's, whatever that is, it's 6 or 9, and...
I don't have my glasses on.
But that's 8 years.
Wow.
So, and we have some 25-year coins, and so, that's what we do.
That's what you do.
So.
Take me back to that. So you had that fork in the road where you were like, okay, do I keep doing this or do I go be a journalist? Or
I wanted to, I knew that I had to get an education, that I had to have more options. And the two things that I really wanted to be was mostly I wanted to be a teacher and live in a small town and be a coach and meet the love of my life, and that
happy ever after.
And then I really started to, I got addicted to the idea of having ink on my fingertips every day and reading the newspaper and being invested in the media, like just journalism. And as a kid, I remember the two things that I really remember the most was all the press that was given to things in our town like Bloomsday and the investment in Bloomsday, and then Who Fest was just kind of starting in the mid-90s, and I remember I wanted to be a journalist. I remember as a kid being intrigued by reading the newspaper and watching television. Kevin Coe.
Big deal. Yeah.
And I got a chance to interview him.
Wow.
And for a paper I did. And it was just one of those things where when a guy like that sort of occupy space in your brain for longer than you want them to, it occurred to me that maybe this is not the career for me.
And I guess what I mean, for people who don't know who Kevin Coe was, a notorious South Hill rapist, basically, is what he was. Just an awful.
And I got access to interview him for a school, for a paper, and then, you know, for the school newspaper, and it was one of those things where it changed my mind about being a journalist, along with some other things. Not only did this guy occupy space in my brain for too long, and I didn't feel like I could be objective, but you could see where journalism was going even in the later 90s, which was, we don't have to get the story right, but we got to get it quick.
Get it out there.
And there was, you know, the birth of, you know, getting information quickly, and it was just like, you didn't see computers, you didn't see. I'm surprised 30 years later that we actually have a newspaper. I mean, I really am. So I could see that was not a dead-end street, but it was something that I wasn't going to be able to do. I wanted to control my own destiny. You could see that this was a avenue that was the road. The road was going to get narrower and narrower.
Well, let me allow you to tap back in to that a little bit and be a bit of a journalist, telling me your own story. Talk to me about the day you walked in and you took over a gym because you guys needed a place to practice before your fights. If I read that correctly, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So, and then that just grew into this marvelous thing that you have set up now for our community. My brothers and me trained at a place down on Sprague, and the place got abandoned, and I was going to fight again. I'm going to make a comeback, and my brothers were both young into their career, and I thought, well, why don't I just talk to the landlord and take this over? And so we had a place to train, and then, you know, whoever showed up could throw us some money, and we'd all pay the rent together. But it didn't work into that. You know, you had that was happening, and then you had a kid outside looking inside, wanting to see what's going on. Well, do you have a particular moment that was kind of a game changer for you, that made you kind of switch gears from going back into that pro into helping others?
Yeah, telling one kid in particular, go home, get out of here, and he's like, he just kept showing up, and I'm like, all right, well, let's do this. That moment, I mean, I don't want to use the kid's name.
Right.
Well, he's not a kid, he's an adult now. But
what year was that?
That was 2001, 2002, and he, and we're still in touch, but he kept showing up, and he lived down there off East Sprague by the railroad tracks. Mm-hmm. And I remember asking him in particular, I'm not going to use his name, but I said, wow, you live down the street, right there, that house next to the railroad tracks. You must have a hard time sleeping at night. He goes, I do. He goes, but my foster mom can live there and it doesn't bother her. And I said, why is that? He goes, my foster mom's deaf. And it was like, oh, that's why you live next to the railroad tracks.
Right.
It was not obviously that kind of noise was not an issue for her. And his world was that home. And he walked down the street and saw this gym and decided, okay, I want to try this. And it opened up his world, and which kind of opened up mine in the sense that he's told a few of his friends, and then opening your doors, literally like that right there, my door being open. People will walk in and tell you their story, and hope walks through those doors every day, and that's the key. Is you have to give people hope. You got to make them feel included. You got to give them hope. And so I thought, okay, I'm not just a gym owner. I'm not just a boxer. I'm going to be a coach.
You give a face to the faceless.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if everybody would say that, though. You kind of have to. You have that heart where you're like, no, I have to. So I want to know a couple of your stories as far as the ones that really stand out to you, the real life changers. And then, Rick, I really want to talk about what this has done for you.
I had a guy get a hold of me a while back, and he says, "Do you blah blah blah?" And I can't use names, but do you remember me? Because you used to call me Doc. I was going to school to be a doctor, a medical student here. I said, "Yeah, I remember you, because I'm down at a place called the Monterey Cafe. Could you meet me down here? I want to take you to lunch." Yeah, and he said, "You let me live in the gym my last quarter of school because I ran out of money." And we had a cot in my old gym that people would, if a kid's parents didn't come home or if somebody needed a place to. I slept in it for a while when I first started my gym. I was so broke. I let him stay there, and he came back and gifted $10,000 to the nonprofit. He was a doctor in Ballard, and just kind of wanted to thank me for giving him a break. And to me, I just didn't want to lose him as a person that was a familiar part of the gym. So that's a success story. This guy's a doctor, and he was able to pay the gym back. That's a massive success story. When people tell you this place changed my life, or you said, you get a letter from the Walla Walla Penitentiary, and this place, you said something years ago that makes me think, when I get out, I'm going to come back to the gym coach. That's when you know, okay, I'm doing what I should be doing. I'm going to keep doing this. I've kicked around the idea of quitting and doing something else, moving away from Spokane, but this is my home. You
can't do it?
No, I can't.
So what does this do for you?
I don't know. I do know. I don't know how to maybe articulate it. It just it gives me a reason to wake up. I have a community. I have friends. I have. You want to be remembered, and you want to interact with people that stimulate you, and that I'm trying to find the words that motivate you. And coming into this place is that I have no problem if the shit hit the fan and I had to come back to sleeping in my gym, I could do it. This is a healing place. It's a safe place. It's my energy. It's my motivation. It's my home. So it kind of fills me up and keeps me full.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You had a heart attack a couple years ago.
Yeah.
How'd that change things for you?
Perspective. You realize life is precious. 1 minute you're on your way to go see Willie Nelson and Robert Plant, in Milwaukee, and the next thing you know, you got an elephant stepping on your, chest, is what it felt like. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a kind of pain that was ominous. It was very. I remember thinking, this is how people die. And, you wake up and I'm alive. So, second chance, that kind of thing. So, excuse me. So.
No, it does. It kind of puts everything into perspective, doesn't it?
It really does. You realize how powerless you are to Mother Nature and whatever that power is out there that's greater than us. I was powerless, and I'm lucky. I really got lucky. So.
Well, I don't think you were done here yet.
No. No.
You're doing too many great things.
No.
I don't think you're done here yet.
No, I'm not. And it makes you rethink. You kind of see that I was 50, and I always used to tell people I'm not going to live past my 60s. My dad died at 57. All my uncles died in their 50s. Welliver men die young, and my grandfather died in his early 60s. So I just thought, well, here it is, you know, and then you kind of wake up and you realize, well, I still got a lot of stuff I got to do. I got to go back to Ireland. I want to whitewater raft another river. I want to climb a peak, and then you put those things in motion. I mean, the first thing I thought about when I had a heart attack, and I think I might have said this earlier, but was my daughter and Ireland. And I had this sort of moment where I was like, okay, that's my cue. I got to take my daughter, you know, to Ireland, and so I got to just do that. We only have so many turns around this sun, and this planet only spins so often, you know, and you got to just live life right.
You got to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You were on fire before you had your heart attack. How would you say that your life changed after the heart attack?
I geared down. I slowed down a bit.
I don't think I expected you to say that. I almost expected you to say that you geared up a little bit higher. But
I geared up higher with doing things that were of substance, but I geared down on maybe going to the pub and having a pint, you know.
Yeah.
Or 10, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and the idea of going on a road trip with my girlfriend was way more appealing than going to a music festival and having 20 gin and tonics over the weekend.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
Kind of realigns everything.
Yeah, you life is precious, all those cliches, but nobody's had more fun. I do remember thinking when I was in Milwaukee and on the gurney and the whole bit, man, I've had a lot of fun. I mean, I have had a lot of fun. Whatever the boxes are that you have to check off.
You've had a good life.
I've had a good life. Whitewater, a few Class 5 rivers, check. Climb Mount Rainier, check. Got to be a pro boxer, which I was only going to do, check. Met the love of my life, double check. You know, road trip, travel, the whole bit. But I knew there was more, and it just was a chance to do more. I want to do more.
And so that's what I feel like, that's what you pass along to each person that walks in these doors, that you can do more. And so let me help you do more.
Yeah.
And achieve the most that you can out of your life.
Yeah, it's well said. You should, might have you word out my mission statement now.
I can do that for you.
For my next, that was good, yeah. People, I want to die with zero. When I say I want to die with zero, I don't care about where I live, and I don't care about what kind of car I drive. I don't care about those kind of things. I'm still driving. I've had the same truck for almost 20 years, and I drive. I go on camping trips in a van that's 40 years old. I don't that kind of thing. 'Cause you don't see a lot of people, you know, a funeral procession with the bank truck following it. You can't take any of this with you.
You can't.
You can't take any of it with you, and you can just have as much fun as possible. And that's kind of how I want to live my life. I want to just have as much fun as possible.
It's so funny. I was thinking about talking with you and thinking about all the years that I've known you last night when I was putting this together. And I thought, how would I describe Rick? How would I describe Rick? Rick is the bazillionaire who drives the 1984 Toyota Corolla. Nobody knows he's a bazillionaire, but you are a bazillionaire. You are. Because you have what most people want, and that is the love and passion and the light, and that's what counts. At the end of the day, that's what matters. Not all this.
Yeah.
It's that.
Well, yeah.
And I don't know if you drive a 1984 Corolla. I was just being funny.
No, I drive a 1989 pickup truck.
Okay, there we go.
I drive a 1989 pickup truck. I can honest to God say that I don't think anybody's had more fun in their life than I have, and that's arrogant and all those things, but I really have had a lot of fun, and I've surrounded myself with people that have made my life better. And you get a chance to recognize that and you go, okay, well, I got another shot at this. How do I keep stepping forward to that? And it's building experiences. It's building. There's nothing better than being out there. You know, you don't know who you're going to meet on the street. You're not going to know who you're going to meet in a small town. So you have to. Our country's really incredible. I met some folks down in the Palouse here a couple weeks ago, and it was just the most rich, meaningful, sort of spontaneous get-together of people. I'm like, wow, this just happened in this town, at this place, in the middle of nowhere. Oh, by the way, I was in Sean's bar last week and telling them in Ireland, the oldest bar in Ireland, you know, a bar that's 4 times older or 3 times older than our country is, and meeting people there. That's really what life is.
Yeah.
You know, it's those moments where you go, wow, and then you get to bring your daughter, and I get to do these things with my daughter. Me and my daughter traveled a lot when she was a little girl. It was very important for me to make her a part of the trip, so we road tripped a lot, and now she's basically a gypsy. You know, she lives life right, but meeting people, new experiences, and exploring your surroundings is really what I want to keep doing. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here, right here on the boxing ring, so I'm sure a lot of lives have been changed here. I am sure that a lot of, I want to say, and I'm trying to figure out how to say this, because I would imagine that people coming into your gym, they're giving you their coins, right? They've hit rock bottom. I would say many of them are at the worst point in their life, and they're looking for that hope we just talked about. And then they step into this ring, and it's just like that pow, right? They're getting it out. They're pow, getting it out. And I would imagine that just almost changes their whole chemical makeup.
Yeah. You see a person grow 3-4 inches. You see a young man put on 30-40 pounds of muscle in a moment. Like they learn something about themselves, and once that's accomplished, it's like, okay, well, what's next? What can I do next? I just don't think people. I've chose this life because this is what I wanted. I never thought it was going to be as fulfilling to me as it's turned out to be. But knowing that people leave here with a sense of pride and satisfaction and community, it's really important.
And as you're saying that, I'm wondering, did they probably learn to trust themselves? Because when you're at the lowest point in your life, you don't trust yourself because somehow you got here. And so I would imagine that they're learning to trust themselves.
Yeah. That's boxing lets you know you can depend on yourself. Lets you know I have what it takes. I can do this. You know, there's very few moments like when you get into this ring and there's somebody in front of you. It's inherently dangerous, but it's also safe. I'm going to protect everybody. But you're talking about people that are ripping themselves wide open, saying, "This is who I am." You know, I'm going to show you who I am, and it's powerful. I get to be a part of that every day.
And you said you were saying it a minute ago. It's a sport of integrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sport of integrity. It rewards work ethic. What you will get exactly out of the sport what you put into it. You know, we live in a city now, and I love Spokane, and I love the neighborhood that I grew up in, and I love this neighborhood that I've had this gym in. I'm a Hilliard guy.
Yeah.
You know, And you know, if you're from Hilliard and you went to Rogers, you pretty much were surrounded by people that were on the bottom side of Advantage. And our town is really incredible in a lot of ways, and I love Spokane, and I love so many things about it. Like we've already spoke about how I love watching the news. I love reading the newspaper and getting ink on my fingertips. But our town continually will drop the ball. You know, well, look what we did. We built a podium. We built the podium. How many access? How many low-income kids? How many kids that are on the bottom side of Advantage have access to that podium?
I wanted to talk about that because a lot of kids can't afford to go to the podium, play soccer, pay for soccer, pay for hockey, pay for anything. It feels like you have to pay for everything now. So what happens to the kids that can?
Yeah, well, you're welcome here. You know, that's just another shrine to the minivan driving, shuttling my children around, North Side, South Hill, rich soccer mom that can throw a juice box in her kids' hands and drop them off somewhere. There aren't any kids from Hilliard at that podium. There's not any kids from the West Plains up there. There's not any kids that are sleeping under that bridge over there that come into this gym at night and shower right there. They don't got access to that. So what kids? So our city wants to pat itself on the back and say, look what we've done. But for who? For kids that didn't really need the help? You know?
Yeah.
I went to Rogers High School, and this will tell you something about Rogers and Hilliard in general. There we go. And, when I was there, the 4 years that I was there, Rogers was always in the bottom 5 of either being per income, per family household of high schools in the state of Washington, in the bottom. And they're also in the bottom for the zip code being the most violent. There was 5 boxing gyms at one point in Hilliard. Now think about that. There was the Northeast Community Center, which is now half a building. They turned it into a haunted house years ago, but it's now half a building. There was the Diamond Street Boxing Club. There was a boxing club above Eddie Murphy's Tavern, and then there was 4 gyms. There was Eagles there was Dogtown Boxing too. Dogtown Northeast Community Center. There was a gym above Eddie Murphy's Tavern on Market. There was the Eagles, and then Diamond Street. There was 5 gyms in that community. Now I could name you 25 guys who have come out of those gyms that are contributing members of society. And there's a lot more. These are the guys that I know. So, but they were in that neighborhood. You know, they're not going to be building a boxing gym for kids in Kendall Yards.
Right.
Or out in the middle of Liberty Lake.
What made you love, and I'm going to call it the Lost, and maybe that's not a fair representation, but what made you...
No, that's pretty good.
What made you love the Lost? What gave you that heart for...
I was one of them. One of them. I mean...
Yeah, you know what it felt like.
Yeah, my parents divorced when I was 6. And, you know, my dad was kind of my everything growing up. And when we moved away to Montana, my dad stayed here. And I just wanted to be with my dad. He was my hero. He was my first everything. He's just the greatest guy in the world. And my uncle lived in Kalispell, Montana, and he had a boxing club, and me and my dad used to go to the boxing gym together. And I thought, well, okay. And my mom said, you should go check out your uncle's club. And you just meet a lot of people that are in your position that are trying to find an identity or trying to attach themselves to somebody or something that can get them through to that moment of I belong. And that's why that's what boxing did for me. Was I wanted to be like my dad, and it made me feel closer to my dad. Then when my dad kind of took control of my life, you know, in the 6th grade, 7th grade, it built a foundation that's right here.
That is right here.
Yeah. You know, and I mean, he was, I mean, the coolest guy in the room. I've never heard somebody tell me a bad story about my father. and he really was the coolest guy in the room, dynamic and he had a huge presence, and he's got 3 boys that are giving back to society,
making a difference. Well, that shows good foundation right
you
there,
just met
right?
my brother. I mean, Dewey's a decade sober now, and comes in here every morning and teaches people the lessons that our dad taught us, and if we're going to push forward as a society, we just need to be better men. We need to be mentors. We need to nurture the fact that people need to be included. Inclusion, again, there's that word, inclusion. And we don't live in a society now that where everybody feels included.
That's where your teaching comes in.
Yeah.
That's where your teaching comes in.
I hope so.
Because you did say something earlier about, as a society, we've sort of fallen off in taking care of our kids, our youth, and making sure that they feel special or included or have a place to go that's not just all one vein.
You know what I attribute that to? And I was thinking about it. If you think about our parents and that generation, and then you think about our grandparents. See this guy walking by? See this guy right here?
Hi there.
This guy was one of my original boxers.
Oh, that's awesome.
What do you do for a living?
Architecture.
Guy's an architect.
I'm Leslie.
But he was literally
Nice to
one of the original guys. This is not planned, by the way.
I know, that's so cool.
But he was really one of my original guys on Sprague right after we opened our doors.
Yeah.
So we're in a podcast right now.
Oh, yeah.
So you're
Right
a part.
on.
You're a part
So
of
you just made an appearance. Yes.
Yeah,
Nice to meet
and
you.
Dan's solid. He didn't need my gym to further anything along, but
that's
he's one of the. Well,
This he's a great coach.
Well, what I'm getting at, I've learned as much from Dan as he's learned from me, but he was a guy that had it figured out, and I recognized that early, and I thought, all right, well, this is somebody to keep it. I'd love for this guy to be a coach. I'm selfish that way.
Well, there you go.
So
Okay,
Get back in shape first.
since you're in here, and I know the train's going to pick up, I don't know if we can pick up. Can we pick up? Come on over here a little bit. Thanks for coming over here. If you could find 1 or 2 words that would sum up this guy, what would they be?
He's a wealth of boxing knowledge, and that comes from historically understanding the fight game from old times up till now, and also Rick can instantly pick up on where your flaws are. I mean, he doesn't need more than 2 minutes of watching you. It's like, no, wrong. You need to work on this. You need to work on this. You need to work on this.
So he's a great boxer. What's he like as a person?
He's an awesome person. He's a great guy. He's a great friend. He's a solid guy that you can depend on. That's going to be there when you need him.
Love that.
So he's a great guy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Back after 18 years off. I just started coming back last month. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
he's gonna be a
Thank you. It
coach.
was really nice to meet you.
You heading to the coffee shop?
Pardon me?
You heading to the coffee shop?
Just gonna do my walk.
Okay,
Stretch out a little bit.
let's link up later.
Yeah.
September 6th, we're having the next fight, so that's you guys. You'll be there.
Definitely.
Yeah, she's gonna be there.
Yeah,
Sweet.
That's right.
So
Do another podcast.
Thanks so much. See you later.
She'll be the ring announcer.
There we go. I'll do that. That'd
You
be
want
fun.
to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you kidding?
You got
That'd
the gig.
be amazing.
It's yours. You got the gig.
So you got people just walking in off the street.
Yeah, and
Everybody.
It's a common thing.
That's
it's-
pretty awesome, yeah.
He's a great guy. He works right up the street. But he
That's-
started with me on Sprague over 20 years ago. So
That's fantastic. Okay, so I want you to throw a pair of gloves on me. Kind of show me a few things with these bags here.
yeah,
Let's
okay.
get physical, huh? Let's do
Well,
this.
let's get you in the ring, and I'll show you some stuff.
Show me some stuff, because I want to see what you show the kids, or the people, anybody that comes in here. You know.
Well, come here.
Okay, I have little hands.
That's okay. That's okay.
I have a feeling you've got something for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, that just feels good. Anyway,
Empowering.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I had a guy that hadn't been in the gym for
Okay.
since we first moved here, and we're 9 years here now. One of my guys came back that came to me as a young man, and he walks through these doors. You talk about empowering, how a gym makes you feel.
Yeah.
Those gloves. He walked in, and he goes, "I'm home." It's like, ah.
It's the smell. It's the. Oh, I'm going in the ring.
Yeah.
Okay, this thing has got to come off. I feel like there we go. Thank you. Like I'm not going to drag my. Oh boy. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Okay. So what hand do you ride with?
I've never been in a boxing ring
feel this?
before. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, it's about to get better.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like I've never been in the middle of a boxing, and I think I've had boxing gloves on like once.
Okay, what hand do you ride with?
Right.
Okay, I want you to put your left leg in front,
Left leg in front.
right leg back.
Okay.
There you go. I want you to bend your legs.
Okay.
Put your hands straight in the air.
Okay.
Okay, now these are your guns.
Okay.
Put them in your holsters, put them right there. Drop them down to here.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Put this one out in front, put that one back.
Okay.
When I say one, that's your left. When I say one, it's a quick extension of your body, out
Okay.
and back. Okay, out and
Okay.
back. When I say two, it's
This
your
one.
right hand. Turn it over and kind of squish the bug as you're doing that.
Okay,
It's gonna
so here.
There you go.
Okay.
One. Okay, now move with me. Stay in front of me.
Okay.
Where's your hands at? One, two, 1, 2. Okay.
Did I do
That's
that right,
good.
or was
You're
I
good.
backwards?
You're good.
Okay,
One.
do here. Okay.
1, 2. Okay, now 1, 2. 1, 2. Good. That's good. Now plant those feet.
Okay.
Get those elbows right
Okay.
at your sides.
Right here. Right here.
When you throw that 2, I'm going to ask for just a single 2. Twist off that. Drive it through your hip, out your arm. 2. There you go. Get it back
Oh
quicker.
yeah.
You feel that?
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Get it back quicker. 2.
Okay.
There you go. 2.
Okay.
1. Always bring those shots back
Okay.
fast. 1.
And okay, am I here or here? Here.
Here.
Here. Okay.
More here. Yeah.
Okay.
Bring. If you can feel the gloves on your cheeks, you're fine.
Oh,
1.
okay.
1. Okay, that's your money maker.
Okay.
Protect
Yeah.
it. 1, 2. 1, 2. Leslie, you're far too beautiful to drop your hands. Keep your
Okay.
hands up. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. And we're gonna go up that ladder now. Give me a 1, 2. Okay, give me a 4. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh.
Okay. 1. Give me 6.
Oh.
Good. Give me a 1. Get your hands up.
Okay. Oh
1.
shoot.
1, 2. Give me 8. Nice. Very good. That's good.
Wow, this is hard.
1, 1, 2. Give me
You know
10.
what though?
Okay, now plant your feet. Give me a hard 2. There you go.
That
Yeah.
is so freaking empowering.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you just it's a workout.
Lift them up. Give them a look. Yeah. Good job.
Yes.
It's awesome. It's.
But here's how I felt.
Yeah.
Like you're like here and you're leaning into it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm picturing like all the crap in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like boom.
Yeah.
And it just
Yeah.
I can see how
Yeah.
that would help.
There's boxing for some people is like yoga for other people.
This is emotional for me. Why is this emotional?
Because there's something inside of you they haven't let out, and boxing will pull that out of you. And at the same time, it's pulling all that junk out of you. It's all that positive and that energy and that adrenaline is rising with it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So we're gonna do off camera. Me and you are gonna do another workout next week.
Okay.
And you're gonna get a lot of my time, not just some of it. And you're gonna come see. You should come see the gym when it's alive. Like at 4:30 today, there's gonna be 40 people in this gym. There's gonna be somebody on each one of these boxes. There's gonna be somebody on each bag. There's gonna be about 5 or 6 people in here. Every one of these bags are gonna be full. There's gonna be people going through there. Black, white, gay, straight, girl, guy, cop, criminal.
Everyone.
Everyone's included, you know, and they're going to be working out together, and the feeling of when a workout's over, when a class is over, you just kind of see it in people. There's a kind of a release of joy, which you just felt in a minute.
Well,
think
I'm
about-
super emotional. I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah.
Well, it's empowering at the same time. Whatever it is that you got inside of you that's junk, it just came out. And those empty spots are going to fill up with self-esteem and pride and a sense of accomplishment. We have to recognize those things.
Yeah. And I think you just said it so well by saying, you know, this afternoon, black, white, gay, straight, young, old, whatever it is, they're here. And I think at the root of that, we have to remember that we're all just people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We all just have stuff. And what a way to get that out and build everything back up again.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I can see what it's done for you. Yeah.
I did not expect that.
This ring in this place has been so life-changing for me. I mean, it's been, I met the love of my life in this ring, you know, and I've seen lives changed in this ring, in this gym, and friendships, and you watch people kind of find themselves, you know, they've dared to do something they've never. Who wants to drown in the shallow water?
Yeah.
Coming into a boxing gym is taking the ultimate chance.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta get out there a ways. You gotta challenge yourself. Nobody wants to drown in shallow water. That's your legacy, really? You know, at the end of my life, I'm gonna be able to say I did a lot of things. I was a boxer. You know, you're a boxer now. So.
Oh my gosh, here, right here.
So,
Get over here.
Get over here. Yeah.
I love you.
Thank you. That was awesome.
You're amazing.
To give that to a kid, pull through there. That's why I do this. You got a sense of what that was like.
That's the why, and I can honestly see
in a minute. Now think about that. 20 minutes of that, and the endorphins are popping, and the gym is ballistic, and there's people everywhere, and you got that music going on, and you got the bell going on. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Good job, good job, good job, let's go. We're done.
When I got in there, I thought all I want to do is just be able to hit, right?
And you did. You did great. You're coachable.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, it's almost like you're not thinking anymore. You're just like, it's a release. It's like a huge, like, ooh.
Like I said before, this is a sport that lets a person, a youth, an addict, whatever, realize they can defend on themselves. But more than anything, it's empowering. It makes you think I can do more.
Yeah.
And that's you got a sense of it right there.
Thanks for helping people know that they can do more, my friend.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know.
All right, everybody. Go make the rest of your days the best of your days. Don't drown in the shallow water.
Yeah.